Here's a quick video on some of the new NEST figures that are out, just for some variable weapon positionry and whatnot. We'll start with Mindwipe. His weapons, as you can see, are kind of dagger-like in his hands that he holds. They don't flip out. You can't make him hold them as swords. However, you can flip his hands all the way in, like when you're transforming him. And he doesn't have any hands, but he is holding what looks kind of like a sword, if that's for your choosing. And also, one thing that they don't show in the instructions, you have to flip his hand all the way back like that. So it's kind of, he's kind of holding his thumb like this. But when he's doing that, it clips into that little orange part there that otherwise has no other purpose. So it's basically just so he can flip out his little dagger from his forearm. So it makes kind of a nice little, I'm gonna cut you kind of thing. There's his blade. So there you go, there's that one. The other part is, a lot of people transform him this way, and he's got kind of a big hole in his chest there. Actually, it's not super clear in the directions, but as you can see, there's a little extra groove there. Fold up his tail a little bit, and actually his whole chest slides all the way up. There, and see that flips into the slot there. See, when the wings are down, it's not going to go in. You got to flip them up, and then it'll slide in and click in place. Now there's still a little bit of indentation there, but you can see more of his chest showing through. It's not such a huge cavity, much more acceptable, and he gets a little more head lift on it as well. So it kind of makes him a little taller. His chest will be even with his torso then. His abs and his pecs will be in line. So there you go. Quick little thing on his transforming that you may not catch. He is a really cool figure. I love his posability and his whole little football playerness. But I didn't care for his front feet. They're kind of weird, wonky things. So I oftentimes will turn him around this way. And I think he's pretty cool that way. He still stands the same. Obviously, he's nice that way. Just looks a little better foot-wise. He doesn't have the knee pads in front. You can see the ball socket joints. That's the one downside. I played around with swapping the shins around and drilling some stuff out and whatnot at one time. Never found anything that worked well. It looked nice, but I haven't found anything well that works well when you're transforming him back into his truck mode. So, but that's something just some people may like. If they don't like the little front feet, to flip him around, and he still looks good. The back of his shins are nicely molded. It's got some good detail, and his legs still, they're straight, so they still do bend some. Not as much as the other direction, but they do bend some. And he's still got some nice poses and whatnot. Just some bigger feet in front. So Skystalker is a real quick one. His weapons, because a lot of people are probably wondering what these clips are for. Now the clips, can clip onto themselves, if you want to call it that. It's the right size, makes kind of a right-angled weapon, I don't know. But the clips, as well as the pegs going into his hand, the clips can clip onto his forearm here. Like that. And make kind of almost what would look like hook hands. Or at least be able to hold the weapon in a sense where he can, slice and hook that way. They can hook underneath, they can hook on top. Actually, it kind of pivots a little bit around his arm. Do it just right. There we go. It goes all the way down. So there you go. You can hook up and down at the same time. Work in the meat factory. So just want to let you know that's where those. I guess I'm assuming that's where they intended to hook them on, but they don't tell you in the instructions. So voila! Again, my friend came up with that one. Turbo did. Thanks, Turbo.